Hey, what's up, guys? Kamish Bryce back for another week recap. Today we have week 6. And before we start, I just want to apologize for missing some of the other weeks. I was on paternity leave for one of the weeks, and I was sick for the others. A little bit sick today, so hopefully you can bear with me. Yeah, I just wanted to apologize. That's on me. And, I also want to say I really appreciate the YouTube comments. Shout out to Cameron for the nice YouTube comment. Uh, Really just motivates me to work on these recaps, guys. So yeah, thanks for the comments. And I have a little agenda here before we start, so you can get an idea of what we're gonna cover today. So first, we're gonna cover some league news. Next, we're gonna cover some match recaps, and then we're also gonna look at the standings. And lastly, we do have a sponsored segment here, Shakaroni Parlays. I'm super pumped up for this segment, guys, and I hope you are too. So make sure to stay tuned. And yeah, before we go over the league news, I found this quote today: "Generals don't panic, then the troops never panic." This is a quote from Shaq, and it really meant a lot to me. I actually started tearing up when I read it. So I feel like you can really extrapolate this quote to many important aspects of your life. For example, fantasy football, right? Like as a manager, if you're not panicking, then your players aren't going to panic either. So yeah, I hope this quote can resonate with you all like it did for me. Yeah, let's get into the league news here. So yeah, super big league news here, guys. The Shakaroni pizza is back. I'm sure you've already seen the news, and wow, am I happy about that. Shakaroni just makes, watching football so much better, and I feel like it's really just a staple of this league. And if you've already read the second bullet point, I'm sure you guys are surprised, but yes, Ethan, otherwise known as DUI Dynasty, has beaten the throwing allegations. I'll give you guys some more information later in this video. But yeah, in our second segment here, let's get into the matchup recap, shall we? So the first matchup we're going to cover here is Justin Jefferham versus Duddy's Dogs. Looking at Justin Jefferham's team, like every other week, his running backs are poverty except for Bucky Irving, who had 18.5 points. I think I mentioned this in week 3 as well, saying his running backs are poverty except for Bucky Irving, and that still holds true today. And also, Rip Marvin Harrison Jr. Without his wide receiver core was without Justin Jefferson, and also Marvin Harrison goes down with a concussion, so just really a bad day for his wide receivers. And also, this guy really needs a QB bad. I can't even think of who he's starting at QB. I know he has Anthony Richardson in his super flex, and he didn't even play last week. So yeah, this guy really needs a quarterback bad. Maybe the trade pest. I'm sure you guys know what the trade pest is. I'm not going to name drop here, all right? But I'm sure you guys can guess. Maybe the trade pest can send him an offer for Aiden O'Connell or something. And also, Justin Jefferham's pretty fortunate. He's going to have a very, very high draft pick next year looking at his team. So he should be able to either fix his quarterback or running back problem in the draft. And then looking at Duddy's Dogs here, yeah, James Cook might be cooked. I'm sure you guys have already seen the news. He has turf toe. And allegedly, this injury can last a very long time and just linger throughout the season. It's not what you want to see your star running back having. But on the bright side, his tight ends had a massive week. He has George Kittle and Trey McBride, and they both put up like 15 points each. So just fantastic week from his tight ends. And also something I was pretty surprised at when I was looking through his roster here is that Allen Lazard was his wide receiver 1 this week. Roma Dunze, Brian Thomas, is that his name? Can't even think of his name. That's on me. They both just didn't really perform. And yeah, Allen Lazard put up like 25 points. So yeah, I guess good pickup by Dotty's Dogs there. Who would have thought Allen Lazard would be having any weeks over like 5 points? And also his QBs are looking good. He's got CJ Stroud and Baker Mayfield, I believe, and they both put up like 20 points. So yeah, very solid quarterback room. A very solid team in general. Just some injuries kind of hindering them a bit. But yeah, overall good win for the Duddy's Dogs. He's now 4-2, and Justin Jefferham 3-3. Is that a typo? I was thinking Justin Jefferson was last in the league, guys. This might be a typo. His team's horrible. So yeah, you might need to check that for yourself. I kind of doubt that he's 3-3, but yeah, let's get into the next matchup here. So yeah, here we have a matchup between two guys who might not even have the sleeper app installed, and that's Zeke versus Tim Kelly 69. First looking at Zeke's team, just overall very mid performance. I was looking through his lineup, and I honestly felt bad for Zeke. Just not really any performers besides Jordan Love and Alvin Kamara. They both had like 20 points, I think. But yeah, they were really the only silver lining to this whole team. Just very unfortunate week. And he also had AJ Brown on the bench, which I found a little bit interesting. That's probably not what I would have done had it been my team, but I don't think AJ Brown would have changed the outcome of this week at all for him. So yeah. Zeke has 3 guys in IR now, so just very very beaten up team. Hope to see these guys healthy soon. You hate to see it. Excuse me, guys. That's on me. Looking at Tim Kelly 69 here. CMC and Puka are still on IR, and this guy's still squeaking out wins. I'm pretty sure he drafted CMC in the first or second, and then Puka in the third. So you have some very high draft capital on the IR still. And his running backs are looking good. Derrick Henry had 25 points. Chuba Hubbard had 15. Chris Godwin and Evan Ingram both had massive weeks. Chris Godwin having 35 points, and then Evan Ingram coming off injury, 18 points. Yeah, massive weeks out of those guys. And also, he won this week with Ray Davis, Devontae Smith, and Jameson Williams all on the bench. And each of these guys at least had 15 points. So I think his record might not show it, but I think a healthy Tim Kelly is a scary Tim Kelly. Yeah, big win for Tim here, beating the number 1 overall in the league. So yeah, Tim's now 2-4, Zeke is 4-2. Getting into our third matchup here, we have Rukia's Feet Freaks versus DUI Dynasty. Looking at the Feet Freaks first here. We might crown this guy as the new king of the worst running back room in the league. He's got ETN, Rachaad White, and Justice Hill as like his running back 1, 2, and 3 respectively. And I know Rachaad White was injured last week, but man, all 3 of these guys are horrible. At least he has Tank Bigsby to maybe replace ETN, but both these guys are just looking terrible. His QBs have a decent week. Joe Burrow, and I'm forgetting who he has as his super flex. That's on me, guys. But they both have, I think, 20 points each. And then, he has Deontay Johnson with 20 points and Brock Bowers 16. Basically his wide receiver 1 and 2. But other than those guys, just an overall disappointing week for the Feet Freaks here. And then looking at DUI Dynasty, like I said previously in the breaking news segment, I'm pretty sure this week solidifies DUI Dynasty as innocent in the throwing allegation court case. He puts up 200 points, which I haven't checked yet. That could be a league high so far. That could be a league high. But yeah, Caleb Williams has like 20-some points, maybe 28. All of his running backs, KW3, Tyrone Tracy, Alexander Madison, DeAndre Swift, they all have like 20-point weeks each. Cole Kmet has a 24 bomb again. I know DUI Dynasty was getting some flame a little bit for that trade he had with Carter. I believe he traded away Aaron Jones, Dalton Schultz, and maybe some draft capital for Cole Kmet. But honestly, the trade might have paid off. He has another 24 bomb. Looks like he can probably do it in the future as well. Good and also maybe unfortunate win for DUI Dynasty. Maybe he's really sad about this one. I'm not too sure. But yeah, DUI Dynasty is now 2-4, and Rukia's Feet Freaks are now 3-3. Sorry, excuse me. Getting into our fourth matchup here, we have Dr. PP versus the Abusement Park. Starting off with Dr. PP, his running backs for poverty, except for Monty Monty, who had a guest. He puts up 20 points. He's a beast. His tight ends have finally had a week. Mark Andrews puts up 15. Laporta puts up 12. Honestly, I feel like this is the best week we're going to see out of Mark Andrews this year, man. I really just don't have a lot of faith in the guy. And then also Terry McLaurin, Tank Dell, they each have nice performances as well. And our experts kind of have an analysis here that this might be a fraudulent team. I think the best team comparison we can give Dr. PP is the Chicago Bears, where he just plays like bad teams, and he's just winning against bad teams. So I think if he does make playoffs, which is a big if, he's going to be a first-round exit, not really a Super Bowl contender. And then over on the other side, we have the Abusement Park. Sorry, Carter. Dak might be droppable. He puts up 3 points. Honestly, I'd rather have Aiden O'Connell. Bijan and Najee, they finally have weeks, 20 points at least each, and they try to carry this team, but man, they just couldn't do it. And your wide receivers were mid all around besides Drake London, really, who had 20 points. Yeah, just a rough start to the year for the Abusement Park. Initially, after the draft, I thought Carter had a very solid team here, but just not the start you want to see. Yeah, overall, just another lucky win for Dr. PP. He's 5-1 now, and the Abusement Park 2-4. Then in our last matchup here, if you watched my co-commissions video last week for the matchups of the week, this was actually the matchup of the week this week. It was me versus my brother Brock, so just a pum matchup here. Looking at my team first, again, Josh Allen is really handsome. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but some people do say I kind of look like Josh Allen, so just want to throw that out there. And Joe Mixon's finally back. He's been injured for like 4 weeks. He comes back, he puts up 27 points. Man, that felt good. My wide receivers, they're kind of all over the place. CD was kind of mid. Calvin Ridley had 8 targets, 0 receptions. He puts up 0.9 points. And then Zay Flowers puts up a 20-point week. So yeah. And I'm really begging Nico Collins to come back soon, man. I really hate to see that guy in IR. Yeah. And then J.K. Dobbins, I feel like is my steal of the draft. Kind of a slept-on guy for his injuries, but he's really been performing for me this year, so I'm happy to have him on my team. Then on the other side, we have Team Brock, and yeah, he had 10 players out this week. That's right, 10. Mixed between like buys and injuries, just a really beaten up team. Breece Pollard and Garrett Wilson, they all have really solid weeks, but they really just couldn't pull it together because he has so many injuries and a lot of buys. So yeah, maybe the trade. I'm not sure if we covered the trade on this channel yet, but I traded away Garrett Wilson to Tyreek Hill, and in return I got CD and a 2nd round pick. So maybe this trade can give Team Brock some more depth, and he can get some wins here. But yeah, honestly, a lucky win for me. I'm not gonna lie, guys. He had 10 players out, so it really didn't even feel like a victory at all. I think he's got Cooper Kupp coming back this week. Hopefully, he just had Devontae Adams traded to the Jets. So yeah, I think the future's looking bright for this team. I think although they had a rough start, he can finish up pretty strong. But yeah, I'm 3-3 now. Brock's 2-4, both pretty mid teams. Yeah, so let's get into the standings here, guys. So as you can see, Dr. PP is now leading the league at 5-1. Like I said before, fraudulent team. You have Zeke 4-2, Justin Jefferson 3-3, Emac 2-4, Brock Pump 2-4. Division 1 just looking like the overall better division currently. In Division 2, we got Timmy Valley leading, which was a big surprise to me. 4-2, Dominic and I 3-3, and then we got Tim Kelly and Carter Barley at 2-4. But yeah, I think we're about like a third of the way through the season, so still a lot of season to go, but maybe some themes here of some teams that are going to be looking to rebuild. And yeah, let's get into the what's the word here? I'm thinking, I don't know, the awaited segment, Shaq-a-Roni parlays. And I'm hoping these parlays, guys, I have 2 here. I have a Thursday night one, it's pretty risky, and I also have a one for this weekend, which I contacted 2 of my experts on to help build. And I'm hoping these parlays can get you guys Shaq-a-Roni pizzas for the rest of the year. So let's take a look at the Thursday night one here. And yeah, before you go to the comments here, just let me explain myself on this one. I know it looks a little bit wild. So we have 3 picks here for up to $133. This is flexed. It's a $5 bet. And I also have a 31% profit booster gifted by Underdog. Use code Bryce. You can get some profit boosters as well. But yeah, we have an Equanimeous St. Brown touchdown. Now, do I think this is going to hit? Probably not, right? But the wide receiver core is really beaten up. I'm not sure if Chris Olave is playing. Rashid Shaheed's for sure not playing. He's on IR now. Said it's really beaten up wide receiver core. But this is an 8x cash out for this Equanimeous St. Brown leg. And the reason I flex is I'm pretty sure these 2 legs here, Jawan Johnson, 2.5 receptions, Courtland Sutton, 3.5 receptions, I feel like these are both locks. So if 2 legs hit, it's a $50 payout, guys. $50 for just 2 of these legs in. To me, that's a free $50, and if I get lucky, a free $133. So yeah, if you guys are feeling a little bit risky, you can tail it. Otherwise, I'm not going to take, I'm not going to be upset if you guys don't tail this one. And yeah, looking at this weekend one here, I did contact 2 of my experts here. It's another 3 picks, $5 bet, and for $40. I did not flex this one. So this first leg I crafted up, Demario Douglas higher than 4.5 receptions. The reasoning being, with Drake May, Demario Douglas is honestly looking like a startable guy each and every week. He's been averaging 9 targets with Drake May, and they're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. And if you guys have been paying attention at all this year, if you have any wide receivers going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're putting up like 20 fantasy points. So I feel like this is a lock. I feel like they're going to have to increase this projection here for Demario Douglas. But yeah, anyways, going into the second leg here, I contacted my Giants expert, Ethan McCoots here, and I was like, dude, do you think Daniel Jones is getting 32 rushing yards? He's like 100%. I'm pretty sure Brian Daboll's now been calling some designed run plays for Daniel Jones, utilizing his legs. And I know he gets a lot of flame, but honestly, He is a pretty athletic guy. He is pretty mobile. And I think he might actually have more rushing yards than Saquon this game. That's my theory. And yeah, looking at the last leg here, I didn't outright contact Cameron here, my Vikings expert, but I remember talking a couple weeks back. He's like, yeah, Justin Jefferson averages like 150 yards against the Lions or something crazy like that. And so I saw this, I was like, okay, I've got to take this. So I feel like this is a free $40 here, guys. Should be able to get you 2 Shaq-a-Roni pizzas. And yeah, I hope these parlays treat you guys well. Make sure to tail. And yeah, that's all I had for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like if you did and comment on what you liked and what you didn't like. Maybe some things you'd like to see in the future. If you're not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. And yeah, thank you. I hope you guys have a great weekend.